Morning. I am V. Srinivas Reddy, Associate Professor of Mathematics, Government Degree College, Ramanapet, Telangana State. This is my second video lesson on real analysis, and overall it is 27th video lesson. And today, last class, I defined limit of a sequence and a convergent sequence. In this class, we see some theorems on limits for sequences. First, I will define bounded sequence. When a sequence is called bounded, and some theorems on limits and convergence. So before going to prove some theorems and limits, once again, I will define the limit of a sequence. Last class we have seen definition. Once again, we see a sequence Sn converges to real numbers S or limit Sn equal to S. So a sequence Sn is called convergent to a real number S or limit Sn equal to S. Here limit Sn means limit n tends to infinity Sn equal to S. If only if you take any epsilon greater than 0, for every epsilon greater than 0, for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number n such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon for all n greater than n. If you take any epsilon greater than 0, however it is small baby, for any epsilon greater than 0, you can get a number n such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon for all n greater than n. That means for any epsilon greater than 0, there is a number n. So the difference between S and S after n, suppose if you take n is equal to some 9, after 9th, from the 10th term onwards, the difference between the term in the sequence Sn minus S is less than epsilon. Suppose if capital N is 9, so we'll get here mod n greater than 9. That means mod S10 minus S less than epsilon, mod S7 minus S less than epsilon, mod S12 minus S less than epsilon. That means after 9th term, if you take any term in the sequence, the difference between S and S is less than epsilon. In this case, we write Sn converges, Sn tends to S, or we say this is the sequence Sn converges to S, Sn tends to S as n tends to infinity. And we write this limit n tends to infinity Sn equal to S, or simply limit Sn equal to S. So divergent sequence means a sequence which is not convergent. If it is not convergent, that is called a divergent. So simply we say that limit of the sequence exists, then the sequence is called convergent. Before going to define a bounded sequence, first when do we see a sequence is called bounded below and bounded above. First we see a sequence Sn is called bounded below if there exists a real number k1 such that Sn greater than k1 for all n belongs to n. So if there exists a real number k1 such that Sn greater than equal to k1, that means there is a real number k1 such that every term of a sequence must be greater than equal to k. So in that case, we say that a sequence Sn is called bounded below. For example, Sn equal sequence Sn equal n is bounded below because if you take in this sequence, what are the terms here? 1, 2, 3, and so S1, S2, S3, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, every term is greater than equal to 1. If you take any term in the sequence, so S1 is 1, S2 is 2 greater than 1, S3 is 3. So every term in the sequence is greater than equal to 1. So therefore, now Sn is bounded below. So that means every term in a sequence is greater than some number, then that the sequence is called bounded below. So and sequence n square bounded above is missing. A sequence Sn is called bounded above if there exists a real number k2 such that Sn less than equal to k2. Sn less than equal to k2. So a sequence Sn is called bounded above if there exists a sequence Sn less than equal to k2. Only if you take this Sn less than equal to k2. So a sequence Sn is called bounded above if there exists a real number k2 such that Sn less than equal to k2. Sn less than equal to k2. So that means, so if you take this in this sequence, it is a bounded above. Because if you see in this sequence, for n is equal to 1, 1, 2, 1 by 2, 3, 1 by 3, 4, 1 by 4, and so on. So every term in this sequence is equal to 1. So therefore, Sn is a bounded above. Because every term is less than equal to 1. But the sequence is not bounded above. because since there is no k belongs to R such that Sn less than or equal to k. Here we see observe Sn sequence Sn. S1 is a 1 square, S2 is a 4, S3 is a 9, S4 is a 16. So and so on. There is no, it cannot be less than some number. So it is not bounded above since there is no k belongs to that Sn less than or equal to k. So therefore it is not bounded above. So below means every term in the sequence is greater than some number. Above means every term in the sequence is less than some number, less than or equal to some number. So bounded means it is bounded below and bounded above. So a sequence Sn is called bounded if there exists real numbers k1, k2 belongs to us, so that k1 less than or equal to Sn less than or equal to k2 for all n belongs to n. That means a sequence is called bounded if it is bounded below and bounded above. Bounded below and bounded above. So bounded below means Sn greater than or equal to k1, Sn greater than or equal to k1 for some real number k1. So above means Sn less than or equal to k2. Sn less than, here definition is bounded above. So bounded above means a sequence Sn is called bounded above if there exists k2 belongs to such that Sn less than or equal to k2 for all n belongs to n. So finally, bounded sequence means a sequence is called bounded if it is bounded below and bounded above. That is, there exist numbers k1, k2 such that k1 less than or equal to Sn less than or equal to k2 for all n plus n. In other words, every term in S1, Sn in the sequence Sn lies between two numbers. So every term in the sequence Sn is lies between two numbers, then the sequence is called bounded. So these are called the bounds. So here this is called generally lower bound, this is k1, this is called upper bound k2. Another definition is that a sequence is said to be bounded if there exists a real number m greater than 0, so that mod Sn is equal to m for all n plus n. It is another definition. So another definition is a sequence is called bounded if there exists a real number m such that modulus of every term is less than or equal to m. These two are same definitions. For example, mod Sn less than or equal to means, you know already in the first class I told mod x is equal to k means minus k less than or equal to x less than equal to. So mod Sn less than equal to m means minus m less than equal to Sn less than equal to m. So here k1 is minus m, k2 is capital. That's why. So these two are same definitions. In another way, this can be defined another way. So a sequence Sn is said to be bounded if there exists a real number m greater than 0, so that mod Sn less than equal to m for all n plus n. So in other words, bounded if it is bounded below and bounded above. Bounded below and bounded above. Simple example is Sn equal to 1 by n is bounded sequence Sn. So sequence, sequence Sn is S1, S2, S3 and so on. S1, S2, S3 and so on. So S1 is 1, S2 is 1 by 2, S3 is 1 by 3, S4 is 1 by 4 and so on. So clearly every term is greater than 0. So S0 less than Sn and every term less than equal to 1 because 1 by 2, 1 by 3, all these are less than 1, it is equal to 1. So finally this lies between 0 and 1. So this lies between 0 and 1. So therefore sequence Sn is bounded. So it is bounded below Sn greater than 0, it is bounded above Sn less than equal to 1. So in the sequence, this sequence lies between 0 and 1. So therefore sequence is bounded. So therefore, so bounded means it lies between, every term lies between two numbers, but every term lies between two numbers. Another way definition is there exists a real number m greater than 0, so that mod Sn less than m equal to m for all n belongs to n. See some problems. Show a sequence. This is called alternating sequence because alternating positive negative. If you observe this, so show that the sequence does not converge or an is divergent. An is divergent. An is divergent. Okay. Assume that. So convergent means limit exists. Not convergent means limit does not exist. Assume that limit minus 1 power n is equal to e. Limit of minus 1 power n is equal to e. So by definition of the limit at epsilon equal to 1, for any epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number n such that mod a n minus a less than epsilon. So what I defined, what is the definition of the limit Sn equal to s means, if you take any epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number for this epsilon greater than 0, there corresponds a number n such that the difference between S and S is less than epsilon for every term, for all n greater than n. So same thing, I use definition. Mod an minus a less than epsilon for all n greater than n. So if I take epsilon equal to 1, so mod an is minus 1 power n minus a less than 1. So it is true for every term Sn, it is true for every n that is small n greater than n. So we have minus 1 power n only two values, either minus 1 plus 1. So for example, f is even, what happens? N is equal to 2 minus 1 square 1, n is equal to 4, n is equal to 4 minus 1 power 4, 1. So if n is even, an is 1. So for n greater than a means by considering both even and odd. So the number, suppose if you take n is equal to 9, capital N, I will take 10, 11, n 10, 11. Whatever it may, both for even will get minus 1 power n is 1. For odd, I will get minus 1. Because for odd, suppose a1, how much here? Minus 1 power 1, minus 1. a3, minus 1 cube. So minus 1. a5, minus 1 power 5. So minus 1. So for simply this an is for if n is even, then it is 1. If it is odd, minus 1. So by considering both even and odd, n for n greater than n. So taking even for the even term n, you get 1. For the odd term n, you get minus 1. So only we have two chances, either 1 or plus minus. So finally mod 1 minus l is then 1. So because for n is even, and for n is odd, we get minus 1 power n is the minus 1. So because here minus 1 power n is 1 minus 1 power n equal to n for n is even. n సరి సంఖ్య అయినప్పుడు minus 1 power n 1 అవుతుంది. n base సంఖ్య అయినప్పుడు minus 1 power n minus 1 అవుతుంది. So if n is even number, the minus 1 power n is 1. If n is odd number, minus 1 power n is minus 1. So see 2 is equal to, I will write 1 minus of minus 1. So 1, I will write this 1 minus a plus a minus of minus 1. It's 2 are same. A will be cancelled, 1 plus 1, 2, will get 2. We know by triangle equality. What is the triangle inequality? Mod x plus y is equal to mod x plus mod y. Mod x plus y is equal to mod x plus mod y. So this is x. X is 1 minus a. So y is a minus of minus 1. So we'll get to mod 1 minus a plus some mod a minus minus 1. That is a plus 1. So by 2. From this 1 minus a less than 1. So if you take minus common, you'll get 1 plus a. This is less than 1. So 1 plus 1 by 2. This can be written as mod 1 plus a less than 1. Because mod minus 1 is a 1. So taking minus common, we get mod 1 plus a less than 1. So mod a plus 1, mod 1 minus a. This is 1 plus 1. So 2 less than 2, we are getting, it is a contradiction. 2 cannot be less than 2. Why we are getting contradiction? We are assuming that limit 1 minus 1 power n equal to u. So therefore, limit of minus 1 power n does not exist, is not convergent. That means it is divergent. It is a divergent. So this can be also proved another way, because actually you can by using subsequence, but once again when subsequent topic will come, I will talk once again. But simply you see, you observe here, an equal to minus 1 power n, an is a1, a2, a3, a4. So a1, n is equal to 1 minus 1, a2 1. So a3 minus 1 cube. So a3 minus 1 cube is a minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. You will get minus 1. a4 minus 1 power 4. Negative power 4 is 1. So simply we observe it for even terms. Even terms a2, a4, a6, 1, 1. a2, a4, a6, 1, 1. For even, it is a 1. For odd terms, minus 1. So a2n, a2, a4, a6, this is one constant sequence. So it is converges to 1. So once again, I will explain this subsequent whenever the topic coming, whenever the topic subsequence, once again, I will discuss. So just we'll simply it is a constant, that's why it converges to 1. And similarly, a2n minus 1, a1, a3, it converges to minus 1. So here two subsequences of an converging to same point. Not converging to same point, therefore an is divergent. If it an is convergent, so every subsequence of sequence an converges to same term, same point, if it is convergent. So here it converges to 1, it converges to minus 1. Once again, I will tell this model, this method when the topic came, when the subsequent topic came, I will explain once again. Just to you observe this. This is a to n is all ones. It is a constant sequence. It converges to one. It is a even odd terms you can take. It converges to minus one. But if it is convergent, these two are converges to same point. But these two are not converging to the same point. That means it is divergent. So it is divergent. One important theorem. So show that a convergent sequence are bounded, or show that every convergent sequence is bounded. Is the converse? So this theorem also so many times asked in exams. So finally, it is the every convergent sequence is bounded. Every convergent sequence is bounded. Is the converse. Converse need not be true. Converse means every bounded is the every bounded sequence is convergent. So first I will show first part. Convergent sequence. So let Sn be convergent sequence. Let Sn be convergent sequence. It converges to some point. So convergent means it converges to some point S and take limit Sn equal to S and limit Sn equal to S. So what is the definition? Limit Sn equal to S. The definition. By definition, so take any epsilon greater than 0. However, it's a small baby. For each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number n. For each epsilon, there corresponds a number n. Capital N says that mod Sn minus S less than for all n greater than n. Here it is missed for all. You have to write for all n greater than n. For all n greater than n. So starting I told the definition for all n greater than n. So here it is missed. So mod Sn minus S less than epsilon for all n greater than n. So this will be we have to get here for all n greater than n. So take epsilon is equal to 1. So finally get mod Sn minus S less than 1 for all n greater than n. For all n greater than n. So that means after nth term, every term is less than epsilon. So by definition, for each epsilon greater than 0, there is this number capital N says that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon for all n greater than n. Take epsilon equal to 1. Mod Sn minus S less than 1 for all n greater than n. I have to write this here for all n greater than n. For all n greater than n. So now we have to show it is bounded. What is the bounded sequence definition? What I say? There exists a real number m greater than 0. So the mod Sn less than equal to every term, modulus of every term in the sequence less than equal to some number, some positive. Modulus of every term is less than equal to some positive. So here take epsilon equal to 1, mod Sn minus S less than 1 for all n greater than n. So now we have to show mod Sn less than some number. So I will write mod Sn as mod Sn I will write a mod Sn as Sn minus S plus. SS will be cancelled. This is like mod x plus y. Already I told mod x plus y. Mod x plus y less than equal to mod x plus 1. So by triangular inequality, this is like mod x plus y. This is equal to mod x plus mod y. So this is by mod Sn minus S is less than 1 for all n greater than n. So finally, mod Sn less than 1 plus mod S for all n greater than n by definition. So here mod Sn minus S less than 1 plus mod S. So every term in the sequence Sn is less than 1 plus mod S after capital nth term. Suppose if I take capital N equal to n, after 9th term, the modulus is less than 1 plus mod S. If I take capital N equal to 9, and that means after 10th term onwards, mod Sn is less than 1 plus mod S. If I take capital N equal to 9. So now we have to show it is only after nth term, after capital nth term, mod Sn less than 1 plus mod S. So let's define capital M is equal to maximum of mod S plus 1 before nth term. Before nth terms are mod S1, mod S2, mod S3. So this inequality is true after nth term. Suppose if I take a capital N equal to 9, so after 10th onwards, mod S10 less than 1 plus mod S, mod S11 less than 1 plus mod S, mod S11 less than 1 plus mod S, and so on. After 9th term, 9వ term తర్వాత మనం ఏ టర్మ్ తీసుకున్నా సరే క్యాపిటల్ ఈక్వల్ 9 తీసుకుంటే 9వ టర్మ్ తర్వాత ఏ టర్మ్ తీసుకున్నా సరే 1 ప్లస్ mod S కంటే తక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. So if I take the right capital N equal 9, I have to take here mod S1, mod S2, mod S9. So here n is there, that's why m is maximum of mod S plus 1, mod S1, mod S2, mod Sn, capital S. If capital N equal 9, I will write only just mod S9. So after capital nth term, every term is less than 1 plus mod S, but we are taking maximum of all these. Therefore, finally, every term in the sequence Sn is less than equal to m for all n belongs to n. Therefore, S is bounded sequence. So for the simplest mod Sn less than equal to m for all n belongs to n. Therefore, Sn is bounded sequence. So here, just simply only after nth term, every term is less than 1 plus mod S. But I'm taking capital M as maximum of mod S plus 1. Before n plus 1 terms, what are the terms? Mod S1, mod S2, mod Sn. I will take modulus because if even though negative is there, I will take modulus, mod S1, mod S2, mod Sn. So m is the maximum of all this. Therefore, mod Sn always less than or equal to m for all n greater than m. For all n greater than m. After nth term, Sn, mod Sn plus 1, mod Sn plus all these are less than 1 plus mod S. So no problem after nth term. Only we see for the remaining n terms, mod S1, mod S2, mod Sn. For this, I will take maximum, whatever it may be maximum. So then automatically mod Sn less than equal to m. Because m is the maximum of all this. So therefore, mod Sn less than equal to m for all n belongs to n. Therefore, Sn is bounded sequence. So now, converse of this theorem need not be true. That is, every bounded sequence need not be converted. Every bounded sequence need not be converted. Every bounded sequence need not be converted. Simple example already I told Sn. So take Sn is equal to minus 1 power n is bounded but not converted. Already we discussed about minus 1 power n. Simple Sn is minus 1 power n. Sequence Sn is S1 is minus 1, S2 is 1, S3 is minus 1, S4 is 1. So this is the sequence. Here. A1, A2, A3, 4, S1, S1, S2, S3, S4, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So minus 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1. Clearly, minus 1 less than equal to Sn less than equal to 1. Sn is bounded. It lies between minus 1 and plus 1. Therefore, Sn is bounded, but it is not converted. Already we proved. Simple, only one line I will prove it. Just since subsequence S2n converges to 1 because it is a constant sequence, and subsequence S2n minus 1 converges to minus 1. Therefore, these two are not converging to the same point, therefore it is not convergent. We'll see how it will be the subsequence term. So that every constant sequence is a convergent. So here Sn is equal to S2n is 1, so it is a constant. Every term is the same term. So it is converges to 1, it converges to minus 1. So every convergent and constant sequence is convergent. So Sn equal to k is a constant. What is the meaning of constant sequence? A sequence is constant sequence. Every term is a same term. Every term is a constant. Every term is the same number. Sn equal to k for all n. So here we observe that every term is k, k, k. So this is called a constant sequence. So every term is the same. Every term is the same. Then the sequence is called constant sequence. So Sn equal to some constant for every n. So then the sequence is constant. So here S1, S2, S3, S4, every term is k, k, k. So now we have to show limit Sn equal to k. So we have to show limit Sn equal to k. For you have to let epsilon greater than 0. Mod Sn minus k is a mod Sn is k minus k. This is 0 less than for all n greater than. So it is not depending even though for whatever it may be capital N. So this is less than epsilon because Sn minus k. Therefore, for any number n, so Sn converges to k. So therefore, limit Sn equal to, I have to write limit Sn equal to how much k? Limit of Sn is equal to k. So Sn is converges to k means limit of Sn equal to k. So every constant sequence is convergent. Every constant sequence is convergent. That's why I have written here. It is a constant sequence S2n. It converges to 1. S2n minus 1 is a constant sequence. Here, in case of k is 1, here k is equal to minus 1. We see another thing. If the sequence Sn converges to S, and k belongs to R, then the sequence KSN converges to Ks. Then the sequence KSN converges to Ks. So for here k is constant. Here k is a constant. K belongs to real number. K is real number. If the sequence Sn converges to S and k belongs to R, then the sequence Ksn converges to Ks. That is the limit of Ksn is a k. We write the constant outside. Constant k by right. Limit of Ksn equal to k into limit S. Let Sn converges to S. Limit Sn equal to S. I will take two parts. First case one. If k is equal to 0, then Ksn is 0. That is Ksn is constant sequence. So therefore, we know that every constant sequence is convergent. Already I told. So Sn converges to k. Sn is converges to k. Therefore, Ksn converges to 0. So limit k of k into Sn equal to 0. This is equal to k into limit Sn because k is equal to 0. So first case is a trivial. If k is equal to 0, Ksn 0, it is constant sequence. It is convergent. So and the limit of Ksn equal to 0, that is k into limit of Sn. Therefore, here k is equal to 0. K is equal to 0. Case 2. Let k not equal 0. Let k not equal 0. So since limit of Sn equal to S, now we have to show limit of Ksn equal to Ks. So we see Ksn minus Ks. So we can write k into Sn minus S. So mod xy is a mod x into mod y. So mod k into mod Sn minus S. So now I have to show some less than epsilon. So by definition, since a limit Sn equal to S, for each epsilon greater than 0, if I write in place of epsilon, epsilon by mod k, this epsilon by mod k, we have to take this is positive only. That's why mod k. Because why I have taken here k not equal to k equals 0? If I take k equals 0, it is undefined. That's why I have not taken k is equal to 0. That's why I proved in the first case for k is equal to 0. If you take k not equal to 0, so mod k is positive. Epsilon by mod k by must. For every positive number, there exists a number n such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon. I will take in place of epsilon, epsilon by mod k. Epsilon by mod k. So epsilon place to epsilon by mod k is. So దీనికి అనుగుణంగా we get a number here. So for the epsilon by mod k, we get a number. It is a positive. Epsilon positive, mod k is positive. Epsilon by mod k is a positive number. We get a number capital S that mod Sn minus S is the epsilon by mod k for all n greater than n. So if you, by right hand side must be positive. Epsilon by mod k. For this number, we get a number capital S that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon by mod k. That is for all n greater than n. Why? Because I have taken here epsilon by mod k. Now I have to show some less than epsilon. So if I get here epsilon by k, mod k will cancel, will get epsilon. That's why I have taken here epsilon by mod k. Whatever you take, this must be positive. Right side, if you take this. So in place of epsilon, I have taken epsilon by mod k. This is positive. For this is a positive number. Whenever it is a positive number, there exists a number k such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon by mod k. So therefore, this is a mod Sn minus S less than epsilon by k. Mod k, therefore k will be cancelled. Get less than epsilon. For mod Ksn ks less than epsilon. That is sequence Ksn converges to ks and limit Ksn equal to ks. K into S is a limit Sn. K into limit Sn. So therefore sequence Ksn converges to ks. Simple proof. So case 1 is very simple. K is equal to 0. Then Ksn equals 0. Then Ksn is constant sequence. Therefore, it is convergent and limit Ksn equal to 0. That is k into limit Sn. Here k is equal to 0. So second part, when we are proving our second part, k not equal to 0. Since limit Sn equal to S, I need here epsilon by mod k. Mod k will be cancelled. So that's why I have taken right hand side epsilon by mod k. For this epsilon mod k, we get a number here. So we get the number n such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon mod k for all in greater than n. So mod Ksn minus k is equal to mod k into Sn minus S. That is mod k and mod Sn minus S. So get mod k will be cancelled less than epsilon. So limit Ksn equal to ks, that is k into limit Sn, that is equal to the sequence Ksn converges to. So we see another theorem. If Sn is a So Sn converges to S and Tn converges. If I am writing like brackets, that we here this means if the sequence Sn. Just if I write like Sn, this bracket means sequence Sn. If sequence Sn converges to S and the sequence Tn converges to, then sequence Sn plus Tn converges to S plus T. So what are the terms in Sn plus Tn? S1 plus T1, comma, S2 plus T2, and so on, S3 plus T3, and so on. So converges to S plus T. In other words, something. What is the Sn converges to S means? Limit Sn equal S. What is the Tn converges to means? Limit Tn equal T. So then limit Sn plus Tn equal to limit Sn plus limit Tn. So that equal S plus T. So finally, limit of Sn plus Tn same as limit Sn plus limit T. So actually, why I have taken epsilon by 2? Because here we see Sn plus Tn minus S plus T is less than, we have to show some epsilon. So we'll get this can be written as Sn minus S mod Tn minus T. We'll get less than equal Sn minus S plus Tn minus T. So I have to prove less than epsilon. So this is epsilon by 2. If you get this is epsilon by 2, you get epsilon. That's why I have taken here in place of epsilon by 2 is epsilon. So by definition, Sn converges to S. So by for convenience means for convenience only I am taking epsilon by 2. So Sn converges to S means limit Sn equal S. By definition, for each epsilon greater than 0, I will take in place of epsilon by 2. For this, we'll get number n1 such that mod Sn minus S is epsilon by 2 for all n greater than n. For all n greater than n1. Okay. So if I take epsilon by 3, I will get another number, capital N2, such that mod Sn minus S is less than epsilon by 3 for all n greater than n2. I will take epsilon by 4, I will get another number, some n3, mod Sn minus S less than epsilon. So limit Sn equal S implies for each epsilon greater than 0, there is just a number n1 such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than n. Similarly, Tn converges to T implies limit Tn equal to T. Similarly, for each epsilon greater than 0, I will get another number, T2. Maybe, may not be, may or may not be same number. So that's why I have taken another. So there exists a number n2 for all n greater than n2, mod Tn minus T less than epsilon. After n2 term, so for all n greater than n2 implies mod Tn minus T less than epsilon. So this is true after n1 term. This inequality is true after n1 term. This inequality is true after n2 term. If I take capital N equal maximum of n1 and 2, these two inequalities are true. For example, if capital N1 equal to 4, capital N2 is equal to 6. What is the maximum of 4, 6, 6? So that means here it is true after fourth term. If I take N1 equal to capital N1 equal to 4, it is true after fourth term. If I take capital N2 is equal to 6, it is true after sixth term. So what is in that case, what I will take? N is the maximum of 4, 6, that is 6. That means if you take sixth term, it is these two are true, because it is already true after fourth term. If I take capital N equal 6, after capital N equal 6, 6 always greater than 4, that's why it is also true. So these two inequalities are true for n is equal to maximum of n1. Now we have to show limit Sn plus Tn is equal to S plus T. That means suppose modulus of Sn plus Tn minus S plus T less than epsilon. So limit of Sn plus Tn equal to S plus T means this is like mod Xn minus X. So here in place of Sn plus Tn, in place of S plus T is there. Sn plus Tn minus S plus T. So I will write to like this Sn minus S plus Tn minus T. So this is less than equal to. So by triangular equality, what is the by triangular equality? Mod X plus Y less than equal to mod X plus mod. What is the triangular equality? So mod X plus Y less than equal to mod X plus mod. So by triangular equality, mod X plus Y is equal to mod X plus mod Y. So this is X, Sn minus is X, Tn minus T is Y. So mod X plus Y is equal to mod X, mod Sn minus S plus mod Tn minus T. This is less than epsilon by 2. If we take 1, this is 1, this is 2. If I take here 2, so this is less than epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2. Therefore, this will be epsilon. Why? Because I have taken, I need here epsilon. Less than, I have to get this inequality mod Sn plus T minus S plus T less than, I have to get epsilon. That's why I'm taking epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2 here. Why I have taken here epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2? I need mod Sn plus Tn minus S plus T less than epsilon. మనకి Sn plus Tn minus S plus T అనేది less than epsilon కావాలి కాబట్టి for convenience I have taken this is less than epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2. So because why I have taken epsilon by 2, it is true for every, it is enough. Epsilon by 2 is positive. That's why for this positive there exists a number n1 such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon. Similarly, we get mod Tn minus T less than epsilon. Similarly, we get mod Tn minus T less than epsilon. So if you take m is equal to maximum of n1 and 2, because these two inequalities, rendu eppudu true avutayante if we take n equal to maximum of n1 and 2. So this is less than epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2, that is epsilon. So finally get Sn plus Tn minus S plus T less than epsilon. So limit Sn plus Tn equal to S plus T. Sn plus Tn converges to S plus T. That is limit Sn. S is limit Sn plus limit Tn. So finally we get limit Sn plus Tn equal to limit Sn plus limit T. So here I have taken, why I have taken here epsilon by 2? To convenience, to show, I have to show less than epsilon. Here we have to show less than epsilon by 2. That's why I have taken here epsilon by 2. So here epsilon by 2. Because epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2, epsilon. So we take, this is true whenever right hand side is a positive. Whichever it may be, take right hand side is positive. Since epsilon greater than 0, epsilon by 2 is also positive. That's why for this epsilon by 2, there exists a number n1 so that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon by 2. So similarly, here mod Tn minus T less than epsilon. So for our convenience, to show less than epsilon, I have taken here epsilon by 2. Whatever you may take epsilon right hand side, that must be positive. So because by definition, for every epsilon by 2, so in place of epsilon, epsilon by 2. If you take epsilon by 3, you get another number. So we need only epsilon by 2. That's why we get a number n1. So what is less than epsilon? So these two are inequalities. This it is true after n1 term. It is true for after n2 term. If these two are true for n is equal to maximum of n1. Finally, we get simple. This is mod Sn minus. This is mod x plus y like. This is mod x plus mod y. This is less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2. Therefore, this is epsilon. So therefore, limit Sn plus Tn equal S plus T. Sn plus Tn converges to S plus T. Here, I need epsilon by mod k. We get epsilon. Here, epsilon by mod k. That's why I have taken here epsilon by mod k. So, whatever it may be, you take the right hand side must be positive. Epsilon by mod k is positive. For this positive number, there exists a number, and so that mod Sn minus S is epsilon by mod k. All in greater than. This is today's class. Thank you.